So you probably guess I'm down at Castle Cove, heading towards Steep Hill Cove. Just going to see how far along the coastal path I can get. It's very breezy today. I was going to go up to the Needles, but on a really windy day like this, there's no point, because I'm not sure how well the little dead cat thing on this DJI microphone will perform in really windy conditions. So I'm just sticking into the Undercliff for now. There's a lizard right below me. If I can you see him? See how close I can get before he whizzes off. He's moving, loving the sun. So yeah, just going round into Steep Hill Cove. God, it's really breezy now. Lovely elder in flower. Hopefully that's in focus, not sure. Looking back west now towards Steep Hill Cove. Ventnor Cove, I suppose I should call it. What a cracking day. All I can hear is a blackbird singing. There's been a few icterine warblers knocking about, especially on the east coast and further north, some of the northern isles. So listen out for a singing icterine warbler. More likely to be a melodious warbler on the south coast, but you never know. And there's still redback shrikes around, again on the east coast and further north, but prime migrant shrike habitat this is. Even a little vineyardy, orchardy thing up there for any passing woodchat shrikes. That tends to be one of their nesting habitats on the continent. Listen to that blackbird. Ouch, stinging nettles. Kind of adderish habitat as well. There's some fronds of bracken coming through, so all very much adder-like to me. Must be on a bit of green sand here, a bit more acidic, the soils, rather than the chalk. Lots of flowers on the elders up there. What's that singing? It's a blackbird just ahead. I've disturbed it from its song post, I think. So this is part of the Ventnor Botanic Gardens. They're kind of little vineyardy area, but it's kind of outside of the main kind of boundary of the botanical gardens. You've got the coastal path that separates this from the gardens themselves. So it tends to be just, well, you can't really do much with it, it would seem, apart from the little vineyard. Can't hear any icterine warblers singing. Obviously they'd be really rare on the south coast. I've only had probably up to, I think, 3 or 4 icterine warblers ever on the Isle of Wight. Like I say, it's more likely to be a melodious warbler on the south coast. I haven't heard of any melodious warblers yet on the south coast, but there are more southern species, whereas icterine warblers are more eastern species in terms of their distribution in Europe. Can't see any woodchats on the wires here. Oh, there's a large dragonfly there. First large dragonfly I've seen this spring. Let's see if I can get close to it. It's landed. I can see exactly where it landed. Let's see if I can zoom in on you and get a bit closer. Haven't a clue what species it is, and there's no chance that you can actually see it, but oh, no, that's wrong. It's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. So now zoomed in. Right, where are you? Truly awful using this thing. Let's see if I can get the gimbal at a more sensible angle. So I'm fully zoomed in, but I can't see it in the little viewfinder. So if you're looking at this on a bigger screen, you may well be able to see the dragonfly, but I can't in the viewfinder. Or on the little screen built into the gimbal camera, unfortunately. Give up on that because there's too many stinging nettles in the way, so I can't really get close to it. Carry on up here. Suppose I could have looked at the dragonfly through binoculars and described it, then anyone who's watching would have been able to tell me what it is. It's about 3 inches long, so it's a big old one. Must have just emerged on a day like this. It's a lovely wren singing. So it's a little bit blowy up here, so you have to give me some feedback in the comments as to how the external microphone is working. I have got the little dead cat on it. Looking west now towards Woody Head. Scan around the Undercliff. Pan around, I mean, not scan around. Looking north, northeast, and west. Sorry, east. Not a fan of these kind of signs, a massive exclamation mark. Okay, it's a site of special scientific interest, yes, but you should celebrate that rather than give people a warning. Good grief. And there's another sign, coastal path diverted. So I'm going to see how far along here I can actually get on the proper coastal path. I should be going that way, and I probably will end up having to go that way, but we'll see. Let's go down here. Go down to Orchard Bay at least. So I'm just above Orchard Bay now. There's a surprise. Everything seems to be closed in the Undercliff at the moment. The Isle of Wight Council seems to be completely non-existent unless they're issuing parking fines. Carry on walking along the coastal path anyway. Now ordinarily the Isle of Wight Council, which doesn't exist these days, would have moved the fencing back a little bit to maintain this bit of the coastal path. So there's been some cliff erosion here, but they haven't done it. They've just blocked it all off and are allowing it to overgrow. This is part of the National Coastal Path. The King's Coastal Path, I think that's what they call it. And yet it's been allowed to, well, it's basically been abandoned by the Isle of Wight Council, as you can see. So if these blackthorns start to grow over, it's going to be, and they already are, it's going to be quite a job to get it all reopened. So I've already met a couple of people walking past, so it's good to see it is still being used. Now I've always called this little bay here Battery Bay. I think it's also called Mount Bay. And somewhere around here is Sir Richard's Cove, that may be further along. If anyone knows, tell me. I didn't check the Ordnance Survey map before I came on this walk, unfortunately. So I'm assuming this section has actually been reopened by the council, because like I said, I've seen one or two people, well, two lots of people go past me, and there was a kind of a red bit of fencing up near Orchard Bay, but that was removed from the actual line of the path, so I'm assuming it's been reopened and they've just left that there ready to collect later. But they're going to have to do some work to trim off the vegetation and open it up a bit. Not ideal during the bird breeding season. Just going past Old Bank End Farm now with their sheep. Be shorn of their coats. Great little pond here, attracts migrant wading birds, godwits and green sandpipers, that kind of thing. What's that feeding down there on the mud? Let me look through bins. Pied wagtail and a dunnock as well. You'll no doubt be delighted to hear that I actually got some writing done this morning, which I'm certainly delighted to have done it. I wonder how this little thing's performing, going through all this vegetation with the varying light and that kind of stuff. So much easier to use than the iPhone mini. Yeah, so I managed to get some writing done. When am I going to get the next book out? Probably end of June. I think it's probably a realistic target for that one. Tell you what the book's about when I publish it. Looking towards Woody Head now. Yeah, because I self-publish, I've got 6 books out so far, self-published. It's such an easy process, not easy, but such a straightforward process. Anyone can do it, and in terms of the actual publication process, you certainly don't need a publisher. Honeysuckle, not quite in flower yet. Don't think that will be in focus, but you never know. Yeah, literally so I write my manuscripts using a Scrivener, which is a kind of well, it's the main writing software that authors use when they're writing books, but it can also be used by shorter form writers for blogs and PhD theses, that kind of stuff. Theses? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, Scrivener, so I write in Scrivener, mainly using voice to text. So on my iPhone mini, I use the voice to text functionality to write as I'm walking along. I do the editing myself, probably not advisable, but it's what I do. It's red valerian. No, it's red campion. Marvellous. And then I export it out of Scrivener and upload it to Draft 2 Digital. That's Draft, then the number 2, and then digital.com, where I can do all the formatting, so I can get it formatted as an ebook, an EPUB file, and also as a PDF, prints PDF for paperback and hardcover versions. A bit muddy here. And then go to Canva, which is a kind of a graphic design software where I do my book cover design. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing that yourself, but I do, because I haven't got any money to pay a professional to do it. And then I bind those 2 files together, the actual interior of the book and the book cover, upload those to Amazon, and within about 4 hours, well, between 4 and 36 hours they say, it's usually a lot quicker than 36 hours. It's up on the Amazon site for people to purchase as either an ebook or a paperback, or I've got one book out as a hardcover as well. Then I go back to Draft to Digital, and that's a distribution platform, Draft to Digital. And yeah, this is a bit worrying. This crack has appeared in the ground here, so the bit I'm standing on now will give way at some point. It's pretty stable at the moment. I don't think maybe that isn't new, maybe it's been like that for a while. There's a pond just over the brow of the hill there. So yeah, I upload my book to draft to digital, and I use that platform to distribute the books to all the other online retailers and to libraries, and that gives an opportunity for high street bookshops to order copies of the books to sell as well. But to be honest with you, these days, unfortunately, the vast majority of book sales are done online, so people still go into bookshops like Waterstones and whatever, but the vast majority of book purchases are actually done online these days. Just looking into the Undercliff. So one of the little booklets I wrote actually sets out exactly how to self-publish a book. Link in the description to this video as ever. But yeah, the next several books I'm going to publish this year will all be natural history related rather than digital nomadism and self-publishing. But I write in those genres, kind of self-publishing stroke, digital nomadism and natural history. If I can make this kind of life viable, as in writing and publishing and selling books combined with this YouTube channel, the kind of ad revenue I get from this and buymeacoffee.com contributions, then it could be a pretty cracking lifestyle if you ignore the fact that I live in a car. So I live from a car, which I love that. I don't think I would ever not be in a vehicle of some sort. Pretty sure I'm going to be in a bigger van when I can afford one, but well, I'm 100% going to move into a bigger van when I can afford to get one. But for now, the car is working. I won't be any more positive than that. It's a very confined space. Don't know if you can hear that Dunnock singing. Oh, there's what's this then? Is it one of the lesser and greater? Can't remember what it's called now. It's not Woundworth, is it? No. Lesser and greater. Blah, blah, blah. Can't remember what it's called. Comments, please. I could be bluffing, of course. I could know exactly what it's called, but just invite you to tell me in the comment section just to get some feedback, because that pleases the algorithm. If the YouTube algorithm detects that people are commenting on my videos, that's what it likes. It suggests people are interacting. I can hear a lesser whitethroat. I'm actually going to tell you what that plant is now, because I've remembered it's stitchwort. I think greater stitchwort. Here it is again. I think. Do confirm that or comment in the comments section. Or correct me, I mean, in the comments section. So yeah, I'm still looking at whether to get a drone or not. I'm undecided. Can't afford it at the moment, but it's kind of up there with on my wish list. Towards the top, probably is at the top, to be honest, because it would be wonderful to have a drone following me along as I'm doing these kind of videos. Wonderful for me anyway. I'm not sure about other passers-by, what they would think, but yeah, I wouldn't fly it over very public areas. But in theory, a higher priority is actually to do a proper car build in the car I've got. So lesser whitethroat singing again. Don't think I'm going to get it on a recording. It's too far away. Now the Undercliff, to my eye, is the perfect place for cell buntings. It's a bit like Cruel Point. You've got all this lovely shrubby habitat that's full of grasshoppers. It's all triple SI as well. Within the Undercliff, which is a lovely south-facing kind of amphitheatre that goes for, I don't know, probably about 10 kilometres or more along the south-east coast of the Isle of Wight. And within about 800 metres you've got Wight Farm and Dean Farm, where the farmers are putting in, or have put in, spring barley. They already had some spring barley, but they're putting more spring barley, and they're retaining their weedy stubbles, because there's loads and loads of yellowhammers up there. So any soul buntings nesting down here in the Undercliff have vast amounts of winter food available to them now, thanks to those farmers. And I think that's most likely the driver of their decline originally, and their loss from the Isle of Wight was, or loss from southern England, was the loss of winter food resources, as well as summer nesting food resources, Orthoptera and various other invertebrates in rough species-rich grasslands. But this habitat looks pretty good to me, and it's gradually improving. It has been fertilised in the past, this grassland, by the farm, but now it's triple SI. The fertiliser has been switched off and it's gradually turning into... There's a reed, is it sedge warbler? Reed warbler singing, I think. No, maybe it's a sedge warbler actually. But gradually turning into decent quality grassland, but the main thing is it's all on chalk with some sandy outcrops as well. Main thing is it's the structure is brilliant for Orthoptera, so it's full of grasshoppers in summer. Almost at Woody Head now. Didn't think I would get this far, and I may not even get through beyond Woody Head, but we'll see in a minute. I'll have to go back the way I came. Another great thing about this area for soul buntings is that it's barely disturbed. You barely get people walking through here. It is part of the National Coast Path, but you can see it's a very narrow coastal path here. And I've not encountered anyone yet since I've been walking along here. Just up on the summit there you can see Ventnor Downs just over. It's a bit distant to be honest, but you can just about see the arable. There's some bare ploughed areas at the moment. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Just about see the ploughed fields up there. If I pan around this way. Just about. There's Rue Down and there's Ventnor Downs, wonderful chalk grassland. Fabulous nesting habitat for soul buntings if we can get the arable sorted out, which we are working on. Lovely speckled wood just flew past, and it's right in front of me now. Don't think I'm picking that up on the camera. So I've now set the camera at 4K 30 rather than 60. So it's been set at that throughout this video. Let me know what you think. Certainly saving space on the old, or I think it is, on the memory card. I've got a bigger memory card in the post arriving, so should arrive in a day or two. So I'm up on Woody Head now. I absolutely adore this spot. It's easily my favourite, one of my favourites in the Undercliff. No, it really is my favourite spot. Oh, there's another dragonfly there. That's a bit quick, unfortunately. It's quite breezy, so they're presumably keeping quite low in the vegetation and catching the sun. These must be emerging today because the weather was awful yesterday. It was cold and just grim. One of my favourite spots to sit. This bench or the one on the other side of Woody Head, just along here, watching the migrating birds go over. It's particularly good in March and April, and again in September, October, early November. Autumn is especially good though. Looking forward to the autumn. So I flushed a couple of gingery butterflies, which may well be Glanville fritillaries. I'll try and... oh, there's one. Yes, they are Glanville fritillaries. There's one just here. Don't know if you can see that. Probably didn't pick that out on the... let's see if I can get a closer view. One just landed down here, I think. So slightly distracted by this little beauty. Little bee orchid. Don't know if that's in focus, but... hopefully it is. So I've got a Glanville. Don't think I'm going to get on him before he flies off, but you never know. Don't know if you can see it. Very much doubt that's in focus, but there's one Glanville fritillary. So I'm almost completely out of storage now on my SD card, so what I'm going to do is get as much out of it as I can with this Osmo Pocket 3 and then switch to my iPhone. On the walk back it'll be out of the breeze. I haven't really got a microphone that will work on the iPhone with me, so I'm going to do that section of the walk without a microphone and just on my iPhone. Then you can tell me if the picture quality is any good. This is Woody Bay, obviously. That was rather nice, lovely walk. I've managed to get off the coastal path now and just gone past Woody Bay cottages. I'm going to walk back towards Ventnor now along the Undercliff drive, and I'm going to switch to my iPhone in a minute as soon as this has completely run out of memory. Hello there. You friendly? Cows are always friendly, it's more whether they're cautious. Always got to check this little group of oaks. I say little group, I think there are 3 of them. Never know, there may be a wood warbler in there one of these days. I had pied flycatcher in there. It's quite amazing how birds on migration seek out and can find, even in an area like the Undercliff, the trees they prefer, which are in their case is oak trees, as in English oaks, you know, sessile and pedunculate oaks. Very rare in the Undercliff. We've got gazillions of holm oaks, which are no good to anybody really in this context, but barely any of our native oaks. Ecologically, that's to be expected. The English oaks come to dominate the woodlands in the north of the island, north of the central chalk ridge, around Newtown and those kind of areas, whereas here it's really ash trees and now sycamores. The Undercliff used to be much more open than it is now. It used to be actively farmed, you know, parts of it are, so Bank End Farm and Old Park are still farmed, but there used to be a lot more farming activity in the Undercliff, and therefore it used to be a lot more open. Right, we're just going up towards Wolverton Road now, and in a minute I'm going to run out of juice on the SD card and I'm going to switch to the iPhone. So we're now back onto my iPhone Mini 13. Let me know what you think in terms of sound quality. I'm just using the internal mic on the phone, and picture quality. Better check my settings in a minute. Make sure I'm on the same settings. Just a white throat singing. White throat singing in there. Well, it was. I don't know if I can kind of connect my DJI microphone to this iPhone via Bluetooth. It's possible. I kind of doubt it, but I might give it a go. Experiment with that, not now, but when I get back down into Ventnor. Lovely red valerian. So it really is a very different experience filming on the iPhone. Massive triacium there, which is quite impressive. Bees will be loving that. So do tell me in the comments section what you think about the Osmo Pocket 3 video picture quality and sound quality versus the iPhone Mini 13 picture and sound quality. With the Osmo Pocket 3 I was using the DJI microphone, external microphone throughout, whereas here using the iPhone 13 I'm just using the internal mic, so I assume the sound quality isn't going to be as good with the with what I'm doing now, but it'd be interesting to hear your feedback on that. I tend not to listen to the videos particularly intensively as I bind it all together and do the editing. I'll leave that up to you people to provide feedback. But just be interested to hear your views on relative quality of the two devices. The old Osmo Pocket 3 is far nicer to use than the iPhone 13 Mini, apart from one thing, and that one thing is obviously screen size. So it's a much bigger screen with the iPhone, obviously, the camera screen or the phone screen, than with the DJI. But what I have got on order is an attachment that will enable me to attach this iPhone Mini 13 to the Osmo Pocket 3. There's a lovely bumblebee there. Yeah, so once I can connect this iPhone, mount it onto the Osmo Pocket 3, I'll be able to use the phone as my screen for the Osmo Pocket 3, which should make the whole experience far better. Just because my eyes are terrible, so it's alright if your eyes are still good, mine aren't. So I really struggle. It's perfectly bright, so it's not an issue in terms of sunlight. So the DJI screen on the Osmo Pocket 3 is fine, even in bright sunlight. It's just I don't really want to hold the whole device so close to my face that it's virtually touching my nose in order to view the screen. So it's going to be far better when I can attach this thing to it. Might even experiment with putting the Nemo app on me. Blackbird? Nemo app on me. I've got an iPad mini as well, which I bought a while ago. But if I can attach that to the Osmo 13, that'll give me an even bigger, Osmo Pocket 3, that'll give me an even bigger image. That might well be the perfect kind of setup. A bit bulky, but not really. Anyway, walking back to the bay because I desperately need coffee now. It's been like an hour and a half since I had my last coffee, which is, you know, catastrophically droughttish from my point of view. So yeah, do subscribe to the channel. We've not quite finished yet. This video has a bit more to go, but do subscribe to the channel. Press the like button if you like it. Read the description below the video. And if you wish to support me, then that would be wonderful via my PayPal link or buymeacoffee.com, or a super thanks, which you can now apply to any individual video you particularly like. But otherwise, just enjoy the videos. So we're walking now back to Ventnor Bay. Just heading down Bath Road now. So looking forward to this coffee. Is this crack opened up anymore? Not really, no. It seems to have been stabilised now for the last week or two. Pretty sure they're going to have to close at least some parts of Bath Road soon. I mean, it is closed, you can't drive up and down it. You can only get access to properties, so you can't get to La Falaise down this way at the moment, to the car park. But I think they're going to have to close more of it just to deal with this wall and the big cracks we just had a look at up the top. This wall is really bowing out now and split in the middle. You can really see how it's bulging out. Won't be long before that buckles and collapses. The Maze Island Road and the Isle of Wight Council haven't closed this, at least the path here. They obviously think it's safe. Hello, Morris. So I hope you're enjoying this video about Ventnor and the Undercliff. If so, then don't forget there are 2 books I've written. One, Birdwatching Around Ventnor, creatively named, and the second one is Wildlife Watching Around Ventnor. Just short books about the local area that are the subject of this video. Available on Amazon. I'll put a link below for this video, and you can also order it from the library, and it's available in all major bookshops, both of these little booklets, and in a few shops along the Esplanade, like the Longshoremen's Museum and Lady Scarlett's Tea Room as well. But yeah, I'll put a link to the description if you want a slightly deeper dive into the Isle of Wight Undercliff, and these 2 little booklets might be of interest to you. Just go onto Amazon otherwise and just search for Steve Jones and Ventnor and you should find them.